So do you wish, if you could go back in time, do you wish that when you were in Delta and you're doing the things that operators do, that you had looked at it maybe a little differently? It's not this is who I am, but this is my job. It's not a 9 to 5 job, but it is a job, and that you had focused on private personal things maybe more than you did at the time.
No, I don't think you can.
Okay.
It is your life, and you have to treat it as such, or you won't be able to keep up with there you're struggling to keep up with the people around you. Like when you're in another unit, you can kind of like, I don't have to. I'm not stressed that people are nipping my heels to because they're so much better than me. But when you're there, every day is a fight to keep up. Um, and so you have to commit your life to it and all your time. Um, Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. And the reason I say that, even the explosion, I mean, I wouldn't change anything because it's made me who I am today. Do I wish my right arm worked 100%? Absolutely. But it's taught me so many things about myself that I would have never learned another way.
Did you struggle with PTSD or substances like drinking or anything like that when you got out, when you're going through this identity crisis?
So the short answer is yes. The longer answer is I definitely was an alcoholic, and I was also abusing opiates that I was given for my arm. But I was taking them. Again, I had never taken a drug in my life. I didn't really know. I didn't understand how addictive they were. No one ever said, "Hey, by the way, this is basically heroin." Like no one told me that. But I was definitely drinking too much. And as far as PTSD, I mean, I have a very complicated view on PTSD, and um, I don't like PTSD as a term, and I don't like PTS. I'm not singling out the D. The reason is PTSD as a diagnosis of mental health has nothing to do with the military. It has nothing to do with veterans, and it has nothing to do with combat. It is a catch-all phrase. You can have legitimate PTSD from a car accident. You can have PTSD from a million things. So when an umbrella term is used to kind of mean everything, to me it means nothing.
Right. Yep. No, that's very fair.
Yeah, so it's like if it has nothing to do with specifically with combat or veterans, then everyone kept telling me you have PTSD, you have PTSD, you have PTSD, and I just kept hearing it going. You're telling me what I should feel. You're telling me what it should be, and I'm telling you what it is.
Right.
Like that's not the issues I'm having. And now, having done a ton of research and really went down the rabbit hole, um, I am working on my own concept of what I think is specific to combat veterans. And I have one thing I made up called LTSD, although I don't think this is everyone, but um, it a lot of people identify with this, especially from the special operations community. And I made it up. LTSD. I don't have PTSD. I have LTSD, which stands for I have lack of traumatic stress disorder. When you are good in traumatic stress, when you are good in chaos, you are fundamentally rewired to where now when chaos is not in the environment,
Right.
the chaos is in your mind. You need a chaotic environment in order because that's your jam. You've been reverse wired to be calm in chaos. Therefore, when things are calm, your mind is chaos.
Right. Wow, that's fascinating. Wow.
And again, it's resonated with people that I explain it to. And so on that note though, if you have LTSD, if you are calm in chaos and the environment, which all of war is chaos. So that's not a big deal. But back home, It's calm. So if your environment, if your home life is calm, the chaos is in your mind. How do you need that chaos in the environment to calm yourself? So what do? Simple. You, and subconsciously, by the way, you're not conscious of this, but you subconsciously create chaos. Drinking, getting in fights with your significant other, you know, buying a motorcycle and riding freaking 120 miles an hour, which a lot of guys do. Buying all these dangerous base jumping, which was a whole different thing that guys got into. You have to create that chaos in the environment, and then you're calm again. And guys don't even realize that why they're creating the chaos, but that's why. It's because it calms them.
And so, with this LTSD that you've coined, how did you, like you said, opioids, alcohol? So you're creating chaos in your private life, but now how do you battle that? Like, what are you doing? What's Tyler Gray doing when he is drinking too much, or when the opioids start coming? How are you offsetting that LTSD?
Well, so what I learned now is, once you've been what I call reverse wired to be calm in chaos, um, I don't think, at least I haven't seen, I don't think you go backwards. And I don't, so many guys, oh, if I was just the way I was before, sorry, ain't going to happen. You're not, and you're never going to be. No different than a million other things that have nothing to do with the military or combat. You at 20, you can't say, oh, I wish I was 10 again.
Right. Yeah.
So for me, the lesson that I've learned, or what I do, is I still need chaos. What I've learned is to create healthy chaos. So for me, and kind of a great segue. I mean, not that I'm telling you to segue, but working on set for me, super chaotic, but that's healthy chaos. So that's why I've loved working on set and in front of and behind the cameras, because it's extremely high stress. It's very chaotic. I wouldn't call it traumatic, but it's definitely chaotic, and it's definitely stressful. And I'm built for it. I love it. And so the chaos in the job, I'm calm doing it, and that's the healthy chaos in my life.